Welcome to the Fox 54 Week in Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. It's the only place in North Alabama to get the week's local headlines condensed into one program. This week's big story, mail is stacked up outside the U.S. Post Office in Harvest, with residents concerned about late mail, damaged packages, or no mail delivery at all. The post office has since apologized. We hear from the residents and Congressman Dale Strong. A mountain of mail. That's what the post office in Harvest is dealing with, as packages are coming in by the dozens, but only a handful of postal workers to get the mail out the door. Just how extensive is this problem? Well, look at what we found. The packages stretch along the entire side of the building, with boxes from the Postal Service, Amazon, and eBay sitting outside, exposed to the elements. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo tells us more about the ongoing issues at the location.
It's package pandemonium here in Harvest, where the post office ran out of space inside, causing packages to pile up for days. But more mail just keeps coming. You can see those packages here, sitting in the rain, heat, and the gloom of night. In fact, the post office is stretched so thin that one postal worker told Fox 54, quote, "Tell Amazon to deliver their own packages." This situation, one the Tennessee Valley has seen before. We saw just months ago in Owens Crossroads, the post office there leaving packages outside while postal workers struggled to keep up with the demand. It got so bad it required congressional action to help the post office find another, larger space. It's a similar story here, with residents telling Fox 54 it's been a problem for years.
We're not getting our packages on time, and when they do come in, they're ruined, or I get packages from not just my neighbor next door, but from neighbors down the street that I have to go and deliver, and they get mine as well. Thankfully, we all are pretty good about making sure everything gets to the right place, because the post office isn't doing it.
From soaked packages to delayed mail, many are saying they want to see some sort of change.
If the post office can't get my stuff and I'm paying, my money for my stuff, or my stuff comes damaged or has water damage on it, then yeah, it's definitely affected me a good bit, because I pay my good money. I work pretty hard for the stuff I pay for. So having all that stuff outside and knowing that they might be delayed and they might come with water damage or things might not come as they should does affect me a lot.
Fox 54 also reached out to U.S. Representative Dale Strong's office, which said he's helped pass several pieces of legislation and provisions to help monitor the Postal Service's performance across North Alabama. A spokesperson said in a statement, "It is clear that many of our region's post offices lack the resources necessary to provide efficient mail services, and Representative Strong is working to deliver solutions." Adding, Representative Strong believes his constituents deserve reliable mail delivery services, and he will continue his efforts to hold USPS accountable. There's not yet a clear solution to the problem, but many here are already looking at other options for mail delivery. In Harvest, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
It's still unclear what the USPS is doing to alleviate the congestion, but residents and postal workers say they're concerned about the future of the site. We have an update tonight to a story you saw only on Fox 54 and fox54.com. The mass of post office packages taking up more and more space and causing more and more frustration in Harvest. On our 2 visits this week, we found dozens of pallets you see here teeming with undelivered goods ordered through Amazon, eBay, and other retailers, along with traditional point-to-point shipments awaiting that final trip to Harvest homes and businesses. Well, they were exposed to the elements, and we saw no signs of protection from theft. We reached out to the Postal Service and shared our report. In a lengthy reply today, they told us, quote, "Mail and package volume fluctuates, including recently at the Harvest office, leading the agency to, quote, temporarily expand operations to exterior portions of the facility," end quote. But the statement claims all items are secured, nothing is left unattended, and steps are being taken to ensure items are not damaged or exposed to the elements. The Postal Service offers an apology to those affected. Fox 54 will be checking tomorrow to see if any changes have been made to secure and protect those packages. You can read the entire statement from the USPS about the situation right now, and an update to our report posted on fox54.com. Packages have been piling up outside the U.S. Post Office in Harvest. Residents tell Fox 54 their mail is coming in late, damaged, or sometimes not at all. So if your package or letter gets delayed or lost in all of that backlog, what happens to it? Can the U.S. Postal Service eventually just throw it away? We verify. Ordering a package online has never been easier. With just a few clicks, something you've been looking forward to can be in your hands in just a few days. But that excitement can quickly turn into frustration when it's weeks late. With packages continuing to pile up outside the Harvest Post Office, some people are worried their mail could be damaged or worse, never even make it to their door at all. So What happens if it never makes it to its destination? Can the U.S. Postal Service trash your mail if it's delayed or lost for too long? Let's verify. Our source is the U.S. Postal Service's frequently asked questions page and other content from their website. Here's what we found. A delay alone doesn't mean your mail is thrown away. If a letter or package is simply running late, it remains in the normal mail stream until it can be delivered. But according to the U.S. Postal Service, when a letter or package can't be delivered and can't be returned to the sender, it can get tossed, but it doesn't get thrown away immediately. First, it gets sent to the Mail Recovery Center in Atlanta, what USPS calls its official Lost and Found department. That's where postal employees try to identify the owner before making a final decision. USPS says items are typically held if they meet certain value requirements, generally non-perishable contents worth more than $25 or $20 or more in cash. If an item qualifies, it's held for 60 days if the mail piece is barcoded, or 30 days if it's not. During that time, postal employees may open the package or letter to look for information that could help send it to its owner or return it to the sender. If no owner can be identified after the holding period, USPS says the item may be donated to charity, sold at auction, or depending on what it is, recycled, shredded, or disposed of. So we can verify, yes, USPS can and does destroy mail, but only after they follow a set process to try to get it back to you first. If you're waiting on something that never arrived, USPS recommends filing a missing mail search request online as soon as possible. And if the mail was insured, you can file a separate claim for reimbursement. If you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692. Also in the news, an update on a story we've been covering since March. Trinity United Methodist Church Child Development Center in Huntsville has permanently closed its doors. The facility has been the subject of multiple lawsuits since a former employee was accused of sexual abuse of children. An embattled daycare now closing its doors after an investigation led to criminal charges and accusations of multiple instances of child sexual abuse by a former employee. It's where we start. I'm Kenesha Dees. The suspect, Cameron White, pictured here, has been under a criminal investigation for months, and affected families have filed lawsuits against Trinity United Methodist Church in the wake of his arrest. The fallout also hit hard at the daycare where he worked. The church says it can't keep that center open because of ongoing costs and diminished enrollment. Fox 54's Kate Paguayo brings us the latest developments.
Effective Thursday, Trinity United Methodist Church closed its Child Development Center in a sweeping decision that church leaders say followed months of deliberation. The shutdown happened after a wide-ranging investigation into former employee Cameron White, jailed and awaiting trial, accused of improperly touching 8 children while working inside the daycare. The church said in a statement to Fox 54, the center was no longer financially sustainable given a combination of factors, including enrollment, operating costs, and insurance requirements. They added, Trinity United Methodist remains focused on supporting the children, families, and staff who have been impacted by this transition and closure of the center.
But for the attorneys of the families suing the church, the closure isn't a moment for celebration. They say instead, it's all about making sure daycares follow all the laws and procedures to keep something like this from happening to someone else's child.
It's even more important for those procedures and policies to be followed in accordance with Alabama law, and to not only keep things safe, but for the parents to have some type of confidence as they're going through their day.
Will League says there's more to it than just shutting doors, adding that the closure impacts the entire community and its trust in local childcare.
You've got workers there who, are depending on a paycheck. You've got families that are depending on, competent and safe childcare, and it affects the community. We just hope that for not only our clients and for everyone in the community, that any facility that is taking in and taking charge of children follows the law, follows the policy procedures to ensure a safer environment.
League wasn't ready to discuss if the daycare's closure might have any impact on the pending lawsuits, but both sides of the case say it affects more than just those directly involved. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
White has since denied all allegations of sexual abuse against him. A total of 8 felony charges related to the alleged sexual abuse of children under 12. He remains at the Madison County Jail on a $400,000 cash bond. The family's lawsuits against the church are on hold until law enforcement agencies finish their investigation and the criminal case moves through the court, something that could take years. Taking a look around the valley, Decatur wants residents' input on road projects through 2050. Huntsville City Council approves a new tax increment financing district, or TIF, and local residents have a new way to enjoy recreation on Redstone Arsenal. Well, Decatur residents can expect to see some major improvements over the next 25 years with a brand new transportation plan. And the Decatur Area Metropolitan Planning Organization wants your input to make changes across the cities of Hartselle and Decatur. As part of a meeting in Decatur earlier today, planning organizers and local residents are looking into the current transportation system and identifying potential improvements with the help of those who regularly drive on city streets. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us what the future of transportation in Decatur might look like.
The city of Decatur wants to hear from you about needed changes on local highways and city streets as part of its newest long-range plan, in effect until 2050. The insights the Metropolitan Planning Organization gets tonight will impact how the city makes transportation improvements for years to come. And that includes the biggest congestion spots throughout the area to apply federal highway and transit funding.
The traffic is just getting progressively worse, and ideally you want to stay ahead of that. You know, the way to stay ahead of it is with these models like Dwayne is using here to project out. But you also have to get the resources and put in those projects ahead of time.
As part of the meeting, they're looking at improvement strategies, future project listings, and maps to find the areas with the most need for improvements.
I'm very optimistic that Decatur is going to grow, just like all the other areas around here. Decatur is going to get bigger, and which means the traffic, unless we do something to increase the capacity of the roadways, the traffic is just going to get worse.
But first, they have to look at the current system and make some adjustments, and that's where you can help. Residents are what the planning organization calls an important part to the public input process, showing the problem areas that might otherwise be overlooked. And those problem areas will be addressed piece by piece as the Decatur Area MPO gets the budget to tackle as many projects as it can.
We're always open. I mean, we may have missed something. I mean, somebody may know something we don't. So we got to be open to additional comments in order to make it the best it can be. Because at the end of the day, that's our goal. We want to try to make the best plan we can possibly have moving forward to see that we're successful and to see that we're spending the money, you know, in the best way or where it's needed at most.
If you missed this meeting, you still have some time. In addition to another meeting in Hartselle on Thursday, the public comment period will remain open through August 7th. In Decatur, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The Decatur Area MPO says once the public comment period ends, they'll make some final touches to the plan and should have it ready to go by the end of September. After more than 4 months of deliberations, Huntsville City Council has unanimously approved a new tax increment financing district, commonly known as TIF 9, bringing in roughly $220 million toward projects downtown Huntsville. Tax increment financing districts have been used in Huntsville since 2000. They allow municipalities to promote economic development by using revenues from future income to fund future projects. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman has more on what you can expect the future of downtown Huntsville to look like.
The Huntsville City Council looks to establish a new tax increment financing district in the city during their meeting on Thursday. TIF 9 would provide funds for multiple projects in an effort to enhance downtown. A unanimous vote from the City Council paves the way for projects costing roughly $220 million. Notably, the Von Braun Center will be getting a big expansion with a roughly $200 million price tag. But TIF 9 won't just help the VBC. The other $20 million is going toward improvements and renovations to the old federal courthouse, a new park, and upgrades to Low Avenue and the North Huntsville Beltline Greenway. District 4 City Council member Bill Kling wants residents to know this won't raise their taxes.
What the TIF 9 does is it helps to develop new growth, new projects, such as what the expansion of the Civic Center will do. And as a result of that new growth and expansion, such as new hotels that are being built, new restaurants that are being built, the property tax on that new growth is what will be used to pay for the TIF.
Another unanimous vote from the City Council on Thursday will help advance the VBC's renovations project even further. Huntsville is adding a 1% increase to its lodging tax, with the money going directly toward the expansion.
Meeting with our hoteliers and getting them to understand what the Von Braun Center expansion would do and if they would be supportive of it, and doing a minor adjustment on our lodging fees, which is mainly coming from people coming and visiting the city, not local residents, to help accelerate this project, help accelerate the funding of it. They were very supportive of that.
Councilmember Kling says enhancing downtown can lead to bigger conventions coming to the city, leading to more revenue that can go directly back into city facilities. In Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
The increased lodging tax will take effect October 1st. TIF 9 will be in effect for the next 30 years unless it's paid off early, which city leaders tell us is likely. The Bay's Redstone Arsenal is all about work, but play too. It's why the Bay's teamed up with Madison Chamber of Commerce to create better access to Redstone's recreation amenities. We introduce to you the Redstone Recreation Passport. This opportunity invites people living off the arsenal to take advantage of amenities. That includes swimming pools, bowling, and of course, golf. Madison Chamber President Michelle Epling says this partnership helps connect the community with the arsenal.
The Redstone Recreation Passport is the perfect example of what can happen when we work together to create connections that benefit the entire community. Redstone Arsenal is one of the most important economic engines in our region, but we also want our residents of Madison and the area to understand that Redstone is part of our community in ways they might not even realize.
Pretty cool. If you're interested in getting a Redstone Arsenal Rec Pass for yourself, head to the Visitor Center by Gate 9 anytime between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. You'll also need to have a Star ID or a federal ID and pass a background check to receive a Rec Pass. Staying calm under pressure, multitasking, and making split-second decisions, all representing what it takes to be a 911 dispatcher. Today, Fox 54 stepped into the shoes of the first responders. Huntsville Police Department gave local reporters a first-hand look at the academy and testing applicants must pass to take on this high-stakes role. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell shares the glimpse she got of the life of a police dispatcher.
Today, I got a first-hand look on what it takes to be a dispatcher with Huntsville Police Department.
It's a job where every second counts.
Charlie 22, Charlie 24, 1051.
Charlie 22, multi-units.
Today, I experienced a fraction of the intense multitasking and problem-solving required regularly in Huntsville's 911 Communications Center. Training Supervisor Amy Turner says communication is key, especially when coordinating in real time with other emergency agencies like HEMC.
In that academy, we learn our 10 codes, we learn the phonetics, we learn terminology, anything that they would use out on the floor. We teach them it's a different language when we're using 10 code. We go through various scenarios with radio, with phones. It's just a lot of learning.
Turner says dispatchers also take mental health classes to learn how to communicate with those who may be experiencing mental illness. They're also taught how to de-escalate scenarios before officers even arrive. Officials say it takes a dedicated, hard-working person with a heart for service to stand out in a field that is facing a national shortage of manpower. For those on the line, the reward is being the calming voice in the darkness.
My reason why is because I'm the person that I needed on a 911 call. I needed someone who's compassionate, who's actually there to help me get through the worst moment of my life.
HPD is briefly opening up applicant testing to find that next generation of recruits. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Aptitude testing for eligible applicants runs through August 24th. Final selections will also require a drug screening and polygraph. Find the link to apply on our website at fox54.com. There's also news from the Shoals, where Democratic gubernatorial candidate Doug Jones spoke with locals at a town hall style meeting, and UNA launched a new brand campaign. Gubernatorial candidate Doug Jones made a stop in the Shoals this evening to speak with voters directly, hearing from them and giving them answers about the next steps in his run for governor and what he aims to do should he win the seat. And those voters asked a wide variety of questions that reflect what people across the state are feeling, leading into a heated election in November when Jones will face the Republican nominee, Senator Tommy Tuberville. Fox 54's Kate Maguire shows us what Alabamians are saying to Jones tonight.
Questions and answers flooded a town hall in Sheffield tonight as gubernatorial candidate Doug Jones made a stop in the Shoals to speak with hundreds of constituents about what he's planning to advocate for in his run for governor.
They have questions about what we'll do going forward and how we're going to approach it. So I think that's the most important thing. The question you'll find out in a little bit, what do they want to hear? about our approach to government and how we'll do things.
But Jones says it's about more than just answering questions. The point is to get Alabamians engaged directly with the issues that affect them.
Our candidacy is about them. It is not about me. It's not about a political party. It's about the people in the state of Alabama. And they may not agree with everything I say, but I want people to take away the fact that I am going to try to do everything I can to have their best interests at heart.
And voters here in the Shoals say Jones is tackling many of the issues that are on the forefront of Alabamians' minds. From the lottery to education to beating a Republican supermajority, many here think Jones is the man for the job.
We need a governor that's going to stand and veto some of those bills that's coming across his desk that's not good for the state itself, and someone to stand up for all of us and not just the right or the left.
I think he's really focusing well on a lot of the issues that are pertinent to the Alabama voters instead of, just buying into partisan hot topics and feeding into the flames. I think he's actually really focusing on what we need as Alabamians to make the state better.
The reason he answers those questions so easily is because he knows what he's talking about. He's not trying to impress anybody. He's trying to be Doug Jones, who is a man for Alabama.
Who exactly is the man for Alabama is still up in the air until November, but it's clear Jones is already gathering support from voters across the state. In Sheffield, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Jones' visit to the Shoals is part of a wider effort to bring public town halls just like this to cities all over Alabama. The general election is set for November 3rd. The University of North Alabama is looking toward the future with a bold new look. Today, campus officials officially unveiled the Grow Your World brand campaign. It retires the familiar Lion Academic logo and replaces it with an iconic piece of campus history. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell shares with us how this rebrand reflects both the school's rapid growth and an upcoming century revolution.
From historic Wesleyan Hall to the brisk walk to class, the University of North Alabama has plenty of tradition to lean on. Today, leaders gathered with the city of Florence to step into the future, unveiling a vibrant new academic identity featuring the Harrison Fountain. Enrollment Marketing Director Lee Taylor says the century-old tradition tied to the fountain made it the perfect insignia for every student's personal journey.
Every student at UNA starts their semester off first day of class with a tradition called the Lucky Dip. So they take their pencil and they dip it in the fountain. It's a whole thing. It's become a really beautiful tradition. And every student that's getting ready to graduate usually makes their way to the fountain with their parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters and whoever to take their photos. You just can't get away from the fountain. It's too beautiful, it's too special, too important.
Out is the old lion in a circle institutional logo. Campus officials noted the last time the academic emblem was updated was 2008, when the enrollment sat at just 6,000 students. With enrollment now relevant to more than 10,000 lions, the university and city came together to unveil the new logos featured throughout campus. During his speech, President Dr. Ken Kitts says the new brand is ready to steer the campus head-on into its upcoming century revolution.
After almost 20 years with the current image, we felt like the time was right to create a new mark that would carry us through our next decades. Of course, the highlight of this next phase of life at UNA will be our bicentennial, which at this point is just under 4 years away in 2030.
Symbolizing a fresh milestone for a growing campus community. In Florence, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Officials noted that the athletic logo will still feature the lion, but all academic logos will have the fountain in them. That's 3, 2, 1. Let's wrap up with these very unique stories to make you smile. Grant Funk Railroad is celebrating America 250 in a one-of-a-kind way. Athens honors a 7-year-old organ recipient in a special police swearing-in ceremony. And local nonprofit Free to Teach is getting educators ready for the new school year for free. A couple brings back a tradition in Owens Cross Roads. Their backyard filled with tiny trains and tracks open to the public for the 4th of July. Check this out. This is Grand Funk Railroad. The Garden Railroad is open to the public this weekend with a 4th of July overlay to help celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Fox 54 spoke with owner Grant Sweer about what guests can expect to see on the rails this holiday weekend.
This year we're putting out our patriotic trains. We have one locomotive that comes from 1976, and that was the Freedom Train. And then we have another patriotic train, and then we're also running our Amtrak trains today with the road railers. And all of them are having our American flags out and dressed up, so that way we're showing off our red, white, and blue.
How cool is that? We'll check out when the railroad will open on their Facebook page. We'll hear more from the Grand Funk Railroad tonight on Fox 54 after the World Cup. A big day for the Athens Police Department. The department added a new honorary member to its staff, Officer Jace Dennis. Jace is 7 years old and recently had a liver transplant. He says he always wanted to be a police officer. The Athens Police Department welcomed Officer Jace with open arms as he joined the department and got to check out a police cruiser. Look at that. For Athens Police Chief Anthony Presnell, it was special, but at the same time, just part of the job.
That's what this job is about, is putting a smile on people's face. You know, that's part of this job. And for him to see his reaction when he walked in this room was just awesome. That shows you how tough this kid is. 7 years old, he's had a transplant, and that just shows how tough this kid is.
Wow, well, for Jace's mom, Haley, to see the Athens Police Department go all out for her son today was something she never expected.
We would have been super grateful and kind of just thinking that one person was going to come and show him through, and this is honestly more than we could have imagined or dreamed. Very surprised and taken aback and a little shy too, but no, we are just, again, so grateful for the kindness being shown to us today.
I always not want to be a firefighter or a doctor. I just want to be a police officer.
Yes, that's been.
That is too cute. He even has a little uniform. Well, to add to his special day at Athens, Mayor Ronnie Marks designated today as Jace Dennis Day.
A new school year means new supplies, but for many local teachers, that often means paying out of pocket. Today, the free supplies store Free to Teach opened its doors to 135 teachers to lighten that load. The organization is kicking off the 2026-2027 school year with expanded demand backed by a powerful back-to-school season partnership with the Tennessee Valley Authority.
So today is opening day at Free to Teach for the 26-27 school year. We have 135 teachers shopping for resources and supplies today. And over the month of July alone, we'll serve 1,500 teachers and we'll have about 6,000 shops this school year. We give away about $2.5 million a year in donated resources, and we're only purchasing a small fraction of that. So this truly is a community-powered place, and we're so proud to be here together serving teachers.
Kling says by the end of July, more than 1,500 teachers are expected to shop here for free. To meet the demand, volunteers spent hours sorting and organizing everything from recent community garage cleanouts to over 40,000 donated books, all to help local teachers.
I have taught when it's feast and famine, and this is incredible. When I have students that come in with no supplies, I can pull a bag or a box and create a complete list from what I need from the things they give us here at Free to Teach.
The Lehman Ferry Road location stays open 11 months out of the year, serving over 6,000 public school teachers and 75,000 students across Limestone and Madison counties. Teachers in Limestone and Madison County can schedule their shopping trip online at freetoteach.org. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Thank you for watching Fox 54's Weekend Review. Count on Fox 54 Plus to bring you more great programming with in-depth local specials, Locked On Sports, true crime, cooking shows, wellness experts, and continuing weather coverage. For everyone at Fox 54 News, I'm Kenesha Dees. Have a great weekend.